So this was supposed to be a really exciting day, waiting for my new vehicle to arrive after being shipped from New York. I bought a number of cars sight unseen, had them shipped. My Countach, my Diablo, Lotus Esprit, my Supras. It's usually a ton of fun. But I'm also usually able to do inspections, have people check out those cars, vet those cars pretty thoroughly, or bought from dealers, which have some amount of recourse if things aren't done right. This was bought from Bring a Trailer, and Bring a Trailer is very clear that they have no responsibility, take no actions really, if the seller misrepresents the car. Maybe I'm mistaken, and if there is a way to get Bring a Trailer involved, please let me know. So I was super excited to see this vehicle. It's a 1996 Land Rover Defender 110 with an LS3 conversion, supposed to be a full retro mod. And what's crazy is when it showed up, there are two Defender 110s on this truck. Mine is the one in back. There's that white one too. And a lot of these trucks are done by big companies, East Coast Defenders. There's a lot of them. And when you have them do one of these vehicles, especially the LS3 conversion, you're probably going to pay $250,000, maybe even $300,000 for this vehicle. So I got a good deal, or so I thought, until I started looking at this vehicle closely and saw some giant rust holes in it, the first impressions, that were obviously painted over, not disclosed to me. But I won this bid for $96,000 on Bring a Trailer, plus paid $4,000 in costs. I have that video from a couple of weeks ago of the whole auction process. Thought I would document it. And since then, there have actually been two other Defender 110s with LS3 conversions sell on Bring a Trailer, one for $140,000, one for $141,000. So I got a good deal on it, but maybe other people saw some things that I missed. But this is a rough vehicle. I drove it, and I've driven my 1991 Mustang 5.0. It's got a supercharger, it's convertible, has no heat. I drove that vehicle over Trail Ridge Road, which is the highest continuously paved road in the United States, through fog where you had 20 feet of visibility. And if you've ever been on Trail Ridge Road, there's about 2,000-3,000 foot drop-offs on each side. It was scarier driving this Land Rover over 40 than driving across Trail Ridge Road in my Mustang. My wife wasn't real happy with me when we drove back across the next day, and she saw what we were driving over because that was her first trip, but we made it. The brakes barely work. I mean, barely. The steering is all over the place. You've got to constantly correct it, and then all of a sudden it catches, and then sometimes you moving the steering wheel 4 inches and nothing happens. It sounds okay, I think. I think it's got an aggressive cam. Otherwise, maybe it's got engine problems too. It's supposed to be a fully rebuilt motor. It's not a crate engine, so that was one downside to it. But supposedly it's fully rebuilt. Had a warranty from the shop that did it in New York, which is tricky for me because I'm in Colorado. So it wasn't just the driving and that, but once we got it off the trailer and looked at it, there's so much wrong with it. There's so much that was just not done right, just shortcuts, and has a ton of issues. I'm not sure exactly what to do. I have emailed the seller because he hasn't sent me the title yet, because he sent me a picture of the title. I went through all the processes, doing what you're supposed to do, wired him money. At least the truck's here and it wasn't a total scam, and he didn't take off out of the country. But I sent him a list of some of the things wrong, said, hey, are you willing to work with me on some of these? And I still don't have the title. His response was a screenshot of postage saying the title was sent. No response to anything else, no explanations at all. I did talk to the seller before, shipped to me on the phone and through text a number of times, and he told me the story of the truck, which he did not say on Bring a Trailer or mention any of it, where it came from. I didn't know it was a foreign car that was brought into New York, had a clean New York title. At least I hope it does. He said it has. But he said, I believe the truck was purchased in Portugal. And I'm thinking, I wish I would have gotten this one now. And then he's from Albania, and he would take the truck to Albania, where we'd have most of the work performed, the interior, the paint, all the other stuff that was done, but he'd leave the engine in it so he could import it to the U.S. Then once it was imported to the U.S., he'd take it to a shop in New York, and they would do the LS3 conversion, transmission, all of that work here. So I heard that, I'm like, okay, hopefully they did good work on it. But again, he said it was a good truck, never mentioned any problems, any issues at all. And so I thought, right, I'm like, okay, it could have some problems. It could have some stuff. It's a pretty, inexpensive vehicle compared to what some of these other ones are. And if it's got a few issues, no problem. It's got so many issues, and he intentionally hid a lot of different things. So I'm going to keep pestering him and bugging him, but I also need to get this vehicle into a shop to just see what all is wrong with it, how much work needs to be done. I've got someone lined up to do that now. I'm not sure exactly when they'll get it in, hopefully soon. But like I said, I can't drive it. Can't even get temporary tags for it either because don't have the title yet. And then doesn't have a license plate frame on the back either. So that was something he said he'd add. He said he would fix some trim pieces inside. He didn't do that. And then as far as other issues, one window won't roll down. One door won't unlock. The seat belts are broken. There's rust all over the wheels, the roll cage, possibly on the body. There's chipping paint. There's scratched paint. There's damage to the interior, which is supposed to be brand new. All the interior panels are kind of coming off, not secured right. They put on the new panoramic glass option on the back and cut through the glass with what looks like a chisel, and it's just rough, sharp glass where the back door is. There's missing lug nuts. Their speakers don't seem to work in front. He claimed the gauges were all working correctly, and they are not working at all. Issue after issue after issue. It does not sound good when the engine sounds okay, but then when you actually drive it, it is just rattling and clanking and other sounds everywhere. We're thinking it might bottom out going over, the wheels hitting the fenders over any kind of bump because they're too tight or the suspension's messed up. I'm not sure. It's rough. And so I've got a video of me driving it. I'll post here soon. But this is what we're looking at right now and trying to figure out what to do. And he literally listed 0 faults or took any pictures, any videos of any of these faults. You could tell he's intentionally trying to hide them. When he did the Bring a Trailer listing, people had asked him comments about, hey, are you going to fix that door latch? And he pretended it wasn't missing for a couple comments until they specifically said where it was. He's like, oh yeah, I've got one. I'll install it. He didn't do that. People asked him specifically about the gauges. He said they all work because they said it looked like they weren't working in the video. They don't work. So we have comments. We've got proof of him lying pretty much or not being, forthcoming about known issues with the car that he knew about. So we'll see what happens and go from here. cage must be old. Yeah.
There's no seatbelts.
Up there?
There's no seatbelt right here.
Okay, hold on.
There's one right.
Here, you have a seatbelt.
Oh yeah.
Will it still work, Dad?
No, that needs a new seatbelt. Well, and that's missing on the other side too.
And down here, there's something. Is it missing or is it? See it back and look at it. It looks great.
I think it needs pop. Oh yeah. And I don't know. Does it have power windows on the back, or they not put the cranks on?
The windows don't even go down.
I don't know. Or maybe they're unless they're only operated up front. It's kind of annoying.
Can you start it?
Yeah.
How do you lock it? Where's the lock?
Here's the keys. I think it might help you in the center console.
Oh, maybe a bump too.
So that was my first look at the vehicle, and I let my wife drive it first because she's always loved Defenders, or at least the thought of them. Maybe she doesn't love them anymore after seeing this one, and it just got worse after we drove it. What's weird, yeah, it was missing lug nuts, not on that wheel, but a different one. Rust all over. I don't know if it's just sitting outside forever. I don't know. I don't know if they redid this like 2 years ago and just let it sit, or what's going on. That door won't really unlock now. I don't know what's going on. Saw that before in the other video. But yeah, more rust. I think that popped off since I had it. They obviously painted over that. Yeah, it's not good. The glass, that's where they just chipped the glass off. This back door barely shuts, and the only way to lock it is with you if you have the actual key. And then yeah, there's some not holes but dents in the seats, like they just had stuff laying on them, and it's all supposed to be redone and new. And yeah, the panels, I don't know if I show it, the panels are just have gaps everywhere. The interior panels are coming off. More rust that was painted over. One of those lights on the rear end is just about to fall off. I don't know if I showed that or not. And that's the window, won't pull down. And then, yeah, the crazy thing I found, I'll show you here in just a second. That's the AC that was added on the bottom, so that really took away a bunch of legroom. That seat is all the way back. It's all the way back. I'm 6'1". I'm a pretty big dude. I have some really small cars, including a Countach, and that light doesn't work, of course. The mirror shakes like crazy when you drive it. You can't even see anything. This one is like tight to get into. It's harder to get into than my Countach. I can kind of fit in it, okay, but it's so much for a big, sort of big SUV. And that's all the farther the seatbelt goes. That is it. It's not because it stopped or malfunctioning. That's all the length it has. It ran out of seatbelt, so they probably cut it for some reason or used a really tiny one. I don't know where you can get a seatbelt that small. And just, that's how they did it. So there's a lot of issues, so many problems. The doors don't really open or shut right. None of them shut tight. Like I said, there's a window crank, covered up the locks without, doing it the right way. Weather stripping is missing all throughout or not done right. Bolt missing there. I'm not sure if that's an antenna at some point there. Big old scratch on the hood. I don't know if you can see it, that wasn't disclosed. And the winch, I think, almost looked like it was rusty too. So I don't know if they just let it sit outside in New York winters for years and that's what happened or what. But I'll get it to my mechanic as soon as I can. He actually loves these and always wanted one, so that's a good sign. Hopefully he'll know what to look for. And it's tricky though with the LS3 conversion and all the retro mods. It's not like you can just take it to a Land Rover dealer and they're going to know what to do with it, or most shops. So you got to find kind of a specialty shop that will check out things. And then there's just the undercarriage again. And they had pictures of that and pictures of everything on Bring a Trailer, the shocks, the suspension, the frame, all of it, showing it in like perfect condition. Looked new. I don't know if, I guess by new it was they took it off and spray painted it black. I don't know. So we'll have lots of updates on this. I'll do another video of it driving here pretty soon. We'll see what the mechanic says. We'll see if I have any updates with the seller. I don't know if there's any recourse with Bring a Trailer or not on that side of it. And I will see if we can fix this situation and make it better. This was supposed to be my daily driver. Obviously it's not. I'm going to keep my Velociraptor for a little longer here. Don't know if this will ever become my daily driver or not. We'll see how all that goes. Thanks for watching. Love to hear what you think, and we'll be back with more soon.